How can you write equivalent expressions? Equivalent expressions have the same value regardless of the value that is substituted for the same variable in the expressions. Use the properties of operations to write equivalent expressions for 3 times the quantity of 4x minus 1 and 2x plus 4. How do you apply the commutative properties? You can switch the order of addends and factors. How do you apply the associative properties? You can regroup addends or factors. How do you apply the distributive property? Multiply each term inside the parentheses by the number outside the parentheses.
Think about how you can use these properties of operations for any numbers a, b, or c.
Use the distributive and associative properties to write an expression equivalent to 3 times the quantity of 4x minus 1. First, use the distributive property to show the expression as 3 times 4x minus 3 times 1. Simplify 3 times 1 to 3. Then, use the associative property of multiplication to regroup the factors as 3 times 4x minus 3. Simplify 3 times 4x to 12x. The expression is 12x minus 3. 12x minus 3 and 3 times the quantity of 4x minus 1 are equivalent expressions. Use the distributive property in reverse order to write an expression equivalent to 2x plus 4. What does it mean to use the distributive property in reverse order? Look for a common factor of both terms that is greater than 1. 2 is a common factor of both terms because 2 is a factor in both 2x and 4. You can apply the distributive property in reverse to show the expression 2x plus 4 as 2x plus 2 times 2, which is equivalent to 2 times the quantity of x plus 2. So, 2 times the quantity of x plus 2 is equivalent to 2x plus 4. You start with 2 terms that have a common factor and rewrite them so that the common factor is used to multiply a sum or difference of 2 terms. Now you can write equivalent expressions in more than one way.
Write an expression that is equivalent to 3 times y minus 9.
A common factor of 3 and 9 is 3. 3y minus 9 is equal to 3 times y minus 3 times 3. We can rewrite that as 3 parentheses y minus 3. And you can also see that as 3 y minus 3. And that's another way of writing that very same expression.
Which of the expressions below are equivalent?
So we have that these are equivalent expressions. The 8x, negative 8x minus 4 and the 4 parentheses negative 2x minus 1. They show it to you here where you evaluate the expression and you get negative 8x minus 4. For this one, it shows 4 with negative 2x minus 1 in parentheses. As 4x, it shows that they are not equal. So that's how you would prove whether the expressions are equivalent or not. Which of the following expressions are equivalent? So we must do the same here. So we have to essentially solve each one or rewrite each one. So let's see, 10y minus plus 5. You think of the greatest common factor of 10 and 5. It would be 5. So you pull 5 out. And then you have 5 times 2y is 10y plus 5 times 1 would be 5. So that is that equation rewritten. And then if you have the second one, 15 minus times y, there really isn't another way to write 15 times y. And then we have 5 times 2 minus, I keep saying minus, 2y plus 1 in parentheses. So you would, you could rewrite this as 10y plus 5. And that gave us the same thing we had here. So then we know that these two equations are equivalent, or expressions rather, are equivalent to each other. And 15 times y is not.
Are 6 times the quantity n plus 3 minus 4 and 6 times n plus 14 equivalent expressions?
You would use properties of operations to simplify 6 times 9 plus 3, n plus 3 minus 4. First, use the distributive property. They show us using the distributive to multiply 6 times the n and the 3. And then simplifying that, so that's 6n, that's 18, minus 4. And then there's your final expression. Then here it has substituting 3 for the n. So now instead of a variable, we have a value. And wherever you see n, that is where you place the 3. And it equals 32 here and 32 there. So the two expressions are equivalent because they both equal the same value.
Are negative 2 times the quantity of x plus 3 plus 1 and negative 2 times x plus 6 equivalent expressions? Use substitution to justify your work.
So we need to use substitution, they tell us. So we're going to take x and we're going to have it equal 2. That's just easy. So we have negative 2, where x is, we're going to put a 2, plus 3, plus 1. And then we have negative 2x, and we're going to replace x with 2, plus 6. And now we're going to solve. So remember distributive property. So negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So I'm going to negative 6 plus 1. And then we have negative 4 plus negative 6 will give us negative 10 plus 1. And then we'll be finally at negative 9. And then we have over here, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 plus 6. And then negative 4 plus 6 would be 2. So and it's positive 2 because the positive 6 is greater than that negative 4. So with solving each one with a value for x, we see clearly that they are not equivalent because they don't give us the same value to the expression.